Welcome to What Men Want by Burak Cinar. It's been 1 year since I did my first podcast about what women want, which was 12 episodes. And today, after talking about what women want, we are now switching sides. What men want, the ultimate manual, 100% tested. After revealing all the secrets about women, now it is time to reveal the truth about men. Again, I am an expert. Years of research, deep studies, observations in natural habitat. Jokes aside, so what do men want? First of all, let me shock you. Men are simple. Not stupid, not shallow. Simple. And if you understand this one word, you understand everything. Men actually want three main things: respect, peace, appreciation. That's it. Podcast finished. Thank you. No, I'm joking. Let's go deeper. First, respect is everything. If you compliment a man in front of others, you win. If you say, "I'm proud of you," you handled that very, very well. You are very good at this. Game over. He will remember that sentence for 10 years. Women never forget compliments. Men never forget appreciation, especially from someone they like. And here is a secret. Men don't get compliments often. So if you tell him you smell good, you look good in that shirt, or you did a great job, he will replay in his head like his favorite song. But maintain the balance. Do not overdo it. If you compliment every 5 minutes, it loses value. Be precise, be unexpected. Drop the compliment, change subject. Mystery works on men too, but keep it simple. Second, men want to feel needed, but not controlled. Here is something interesting. If you ask a man for help, even something small, he feels important. Like, can you open this? Can you check this for me? Or what do you think about this? You are activating hero mode. But listen carefully. There's a difference between "I need your opinion" and "why didn't you do this properly?" One builds him up, the other one destroys him. Men connect love with respect. If he feels respected, he stays. If he feels constantly criticized, he slowly disappears. Not immediately, but mentally. Third, peace is attractive. Men deal with stress every day. Work, money, responsibility, competition. If you become his peaceful place, you win. This doesn't mean be silent. This doesn't mean agree with everything. It means not every conversation needs to be a battlefield. If home feels like an interview or court case, he will prefer being outside. Harsh truth, but truth. Peace is powerful. 4. Direct communication. Yes, really. Women sometimes say, if he really cared, he would understand without me saying it. No, he will not. Men are not built like that. If you want something, say it clearly. I would like flowers sometimes. I feel better when you text me "good morning," or "I need more time together." Clear instructions is a success. Hidden signals equals confusion. And when men are confused, they either freeze or choose the wrong option. 5. Physical attraction matters. So let's be honest. Yes, it matters, but not in the unrealistic social media way. Men are visual. This is not an insult, it is biology. But here's the deeper truth. Confidence is more attractive than perfection. If you wear something and you feel good in it, he sees that energy. If you walk into a room like you own it, he notices. Men don't overanalyze details like, is this tone slightly different? No, they see the full picture. So energy, smile and presence, that's what it's. 6. the "do you love me" question. Let's say you ask "do you love me" and he says of course. But you ask again tomorrow and next week and again. Now he feels like he is failing a test he doesn't understand. Instead, try this. "I love how you handled that today. I feel safe with you. I like who you are." When men feel secure, they give more. When they feel tested, they retreat. 7th, the going out life hack. Okay, time for a controversial life hack. Let's say you want him to take you out more. Do not say "you never take me anywhere." Instead say, "I love when we go out together. It makes me happy." Men repeat behaviors that make them feel successful. If he feels like he failed, he avoids. Or if he feels like he succeeded, he repeats. Simple psychology. 8. Men and ego. The sensitive subject. Yes, we men have ego. But ego is just fragile confidence wearing armor. If we embarrass him in public, correct him aggressively in front of others, or compare him to another man, damage, a serious damage. If something is wrong, talk in private, calm, clear, respectful, and simple. He will listen more than you think. 9. Loyalty and trust. Men act strong, but betrayal hits them very deep. If he trusts you and feels safe, he becomes softer. And when a man becomes soft with you, that is not weakness, that is intimacy. So 10. What men really want. At the end of all this analysis, all strategies, all life hacks, men want to feel chosen, respected, appreciated, desired, and at peace. Not controlled, not compared, not constantly tested. Simple? Yes. Easy? Not always. Balance is the key again. Not too distant, not too overwhelming, not too critical, not too available. Mystery works, warmth works, respect works. So, now, you know what men want. Will it work 100%? Of course, it's tested scientifically by me. If it doesn't work, you probably forgot eye contact. Yes, eye contact still matters. Good luck and remember, men are simple, but simple does not mean easy. Okay, going darker now. We were polite so far. Now, let's talk about the things nobody says out loud. Ready? 11. Men fear being replaced. You know how women fear being ignored? Men fear being replaced, not emotionally, competitively. If he feels like he's constantly compared to your ex, to your colleague, to that guy on Instagram, or to my friend's boyfriend who does this, you activate competition mode. And here's the dark part. If he thinks he's losing that competition, he doesn't try harder. Instead, he disconnects. Men would rather walk away than feel constantly inadequate. So if you want him stronger, do not compare him. Highlight what he does right. Competition motivates men in business, but it destroys them in love. 12. Silence is power. So when women are upset, they often want to talk. When men are upset, they often go silent. Not because they don't care, because they process internally. If you chase him during that silence, like, "Why are you quiet? What's wrong? Tell me now. Are you mad? Did I do something?" the pressure increases. Sometimes the strongest move is, "Okay, I'm here when you're ready." That sentence builds enormous respect. Space, when used correctly, creates attraction. Chasing during emotional shutdown creates distance. 13. Intimacy is not just physical, but it starts there. Let's be honest. Physical connection matters a lot to men. But here is the secret. It is not only about desire, it is reassurance. For many men, physical closeness equals I am wanted, I am accepted, I am chosen. If that disappears, they don't always say, I feel emotionally disconnected. No, they just feel rejected, and they don't know how to explain it. The dark truth? Many men measure relationship health through physical intimacy. You remove that completely, and he starts questioning everything. 14. Testing a man too much. Some women test loyalty, test jealousy, test reactions, posting something to see if he reacts, mentioning another guy to see his response, or ignoring messages to see if he chases. Short term, maybe it works. Long term, it builds emotional exhaustion. Men enjoy the chase at the beginning, but constant testing feels like walking into an exam every day. And one day he stops taking that test. 15. The ego break point. There's a point where a man stops arguing, not because he agrees, not because he understands, because he is done. When arguments become winning, understanding, he withdraws emotionally. And the darkest secret? Men can love deeply and still emotionally detach quietly. When respect disappears, love struggles to survive. 16. The deepest secret. Under the confidence, under the jokes, under the I am fine, most men are asking one silent question. Am I enough? Enough financially, enough physically, enough emotionally, enough compared to others. If you become the person who makes him feel enough, he becomes loyal in a way that surprises you. If you constantly make him feel insufficient, he either becomes defensive or distant. Okay, that was darker, now brief. Men are not villains. Women are not complicated puzzles, but just want security, both of them, security. But they express it differently. So yes, respect, peace, appreciation, desire, clarity, and maybe a little mystery. The balance still wins. Perfect. We will push it a little bit further. Still intelligent, still observational, but sharper. That kind of section that makes people slightly uncomfortable and replay it. So here's the upgraded, darker, more controversial section. Up until now we were polite. Now let's say the things people think but don't admit. Ready? So men care about status more than they admit. You might think he only cares about love. He doesn't. He cares how the relationship makes him look. To his family, to his friends, to the world. If he feels proud to introduce you, he invests more. If he feels judged, controlled, or diminished in public, he slowly disconnects. Men don't just fall in love with a woman. They fall in love with how they feel next to her. Does he feel powerful? Does he feel respected, chosen, or managed? The dark truth, if he feels small around you, he will eventually look for a place he feels big. And the drama is exciting. The peace is addictive. At the beginning, a little jealousy, a little unpredictability, a little emotional chaos. Okay, exciting, but long term. Men don't marry excitement, they marry peace. If every small issue becomes a 3-hour emotional marathon, he starts associating you with stress. And men avoid stress strategically. They may stay physically, but mentally they clock out. The controversial opinion is emotional stability is more attractive than the brutal truth about desire. So you want honesty? Here it is. If a man stops feeling desired, he starts feeling replaceable. And when a man feels replaceable, he becomes dangerous. Not aggressive, not dramatic, just emotionally detached. Men don't always cheat because they are unhappy. Sometimes they cheat because they feel invisible. Because attention feels like oxygen. Remove oxygen long enough and survival instincts activate. So is it right? No. But is it real? Yes. And testing loyalty is a dangerous game. Posting a photo to make him jealous, mentioning another man casually, delaying replies on purpose. You think you are increasing value? No. What you are actually doing is teaching him instability. And men don't invest heavily where the ground feels unstable. Short term he chases, long term he evaluates. And once a man starts evaluating emotionally, the romance already decreased. And respect is sometimes bigger than love. Here is the most controversial one. If you ask a man to choose between feeling loved and feeling respected, he probably chooses respected. Because without respect, love feels like pity. But with respect, love grows naturally. This is why public humiliation is deadly. Mocking him in front of others, deadly. Calling him incapable, deadly. A man can survive less affection, but he cannot survive long-term disrespect. The silent competition. Even if he trusts you, even if he loves you, he is aware other men exist. And here's the darker part. He compares himself constantly. The income, fitness, confidence, social power. If you subtly show admiration for those traits in others, he notices and he remembers. Men compete quietly and they withdraw quietly too. The I am fine lie. So, and when he says I'm fine, most of the time he means I don't want to fight, I don't know how to explain it, I don't feel safe enough to open this. Men are not taught to express emotional confusion. They are taught to perform stability. So they shut down instead of breaking down. And if a man never feels safe enough to open up, the relationship stays surface level forever. And the deepest, most uncomfortable secret is under the confidence, under the ego, under the independence. Most men are terrified of being inadequate. Financially, sexually, emotionally, and socially. If he feels he cannot win in life, he at least wants to win at home. And if home also feels like competition, criticism, or comparison, he loses his safe place. And when a man loses his safe place, he either escapes physically or emotionally. Okay. Now that was controversial, but controversy does not mean hate. It means honesty. We men are not monsters, and women are not manipulative masterminds, but just protect their vulnerabilities differently. And sometimes the protection mechanisms destroy the connection. Men don't usually cheat because they found someone better. They cheat because someone made them feel better. If a man feels more valued by strangers than by his partner, the relationship is already on the life support. And what men don't say. He does not say I'm afraid. Instead he says I'm fine. He does not say I need reassurance. He says it's okay. He builds himself out of silence, out of pressure, out of expectations he never chose, but somehow must carry. He competes with ghosts you never mentioned, other men, other lives, other versions of himself that earn more, lift more, lead more, and when he feels small, he does not cry. Instead, he withdraws. You think he wants admiration? He wants respect. You think he wants perfection. No, he wants peace. You think he wants options. No, he wants to feel chosen. And without auditioning every day. Men don't usually leave because someone was prettier. They leave when someone made them feel stronger, seen, and enough. And if a man feels more valued by strangers than by the one who says she loves him, the relationship is not dying loudly, it is fading quietly. Under the ego, under the pride, under the controlled voice, there's a question he will never ask out loud. Am I enough? And if he become the place where the answer is yes, he will stay longer than his fear, longer than his doubt, longer than his silence. Because even the strongest men are only looking for one thing, a place where do not have to compete to be loud. And here we are again at the very end of the podcast. What Men Want by Burak Cinar. I hope you enjoyed.